Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, espes nostra salve, patricamus.
Both my parents were very faithful. We went to church every Sunday growing up. We were at the Wednesday evening prayer services and youth group and all those things. They really instilled with me a love of God, a love of Scripture, kind of that necessity to take my faith and my spiritual life seriously. Before I came to St. Vincent, I'd like to say I went to college, got my degree in music, and then, like most music majors, went off to work in food service. The journey kind of started way back when I was in my undergrad. I'd gone to this little Protestant Bible college in Lancaster called Lancaster Bible College. And I was studying music composition there. But as part of being a Bible college, you take classes in scripture and theology and all of that. It was one of those things where the more I studied the faith, the more questions I started having that I could get good answers for. Again, I think like a lot of people after college, I kind of put my faith on the back burner. I focused on my career and my work. And then, as I got to my late 20s, again with my job, I kind of started feeling a bit dissatisfied. Again, it's not that I hated my job or anything like that. I just felt like, I feel like there's more to my life than this. And I just remember sitting in front of the tabernacle and kind of, in a way, kind of like holding out my heart to Jesus. It's like, I got this big pile of stuff here that I don't know what to do with. If you want it, it's up to you to do something with it. And it was kind of, in some ways, kind of really hitting rock bottom and just in that moment really hearing God say, Gilbert, you're my beloved son, and I want you here. And it was really in that moment of kind of feeling that call to the priesthood. And I, not an audible voice, but it was a very distinct voice all the same. And really hearing, I remember saying, all the stuff going on, the things I struggle with, my failures. It's like, I'm not worthy to be a priest. And I just remember him saying, I need priests who know they're not worthy. That's always really struck with me. And I remember one day after work, we were kind of joking around and we were like, if you won the lottery and could do anything you wanted, what would you do? And of course you hear the answers go on a cruise, go to the Bahamas, visit Paris or whatever it is people do these days. And I remember half joking saying, well, if I could do anything, I'd go off and be a monk. As far as St. Vincent in particular, I remember when I was kind of made that decision to actually come into the Catholic Church, I went to my first Mass. I just went on Google Maps and found the closest Catholic church to my house, and they had a 9 a.m. Wednesday morning Mass, and I went. And after Mass, the pastor's out behind church, greeting people as they leave. And I had asked him, do you have a minute to talk? It's I think God's calling me to be a monk. What do I do? So it was kind of more God putting St. Vincent in my way than me going out to look for it, I guess. Yeah, one of my favorite parts is just living in a close community with a lot of men who are just very good, very holy, really trying to do their best even in their own weaknesses and flaws. And even things of just impromptu sitting down on a bench after dinner and sharing a cup of coffee with someone. It's been really, really good. One of my biggest jobs right now is sous of novices. So I'm kind of work with our young men in formation. I'm kind of the more day-to-day, hands-on person. So we have the novice master who's ultimately in charge, but I do a lot of the, just hanging out with them, being their friend. They don't leave campus, so I get to do shopping and get their toiletries and snacks and things like that. It can be a very beautiful vocation if that's what God is calling you to. It's obviously can be a very difficult vocation. It'll test you. It requires a great deal of personal honesty and again, it's not for everybody. But it's certainly, I think all young men should really spend some time thinking about it, talking about it with someone they trust. Just be open to the fact that God might be calling you to this life. And if He is, it'll be a beautiful experience.